Now that we've reviewed working with adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing some numbers, we're ready to revisit our order of operations again. So this time, instead of having just positive things that we're working with, now we're going to allow for things to be positive or negative. The process of order of operations doesn't change. So remember, we have to do multiplication before we can do addition. So in this problem we have 8 times negative 5 minus 4 times 2. So we have to multiply the 8 and the negative 5, which will be negative 40. The 4 times 2 will be positive 8. And then we're subtracting here. Remember though, when we subtract, we can change it to an addition problem. So taking away 8 is the same as gaining a negative 8. And we can do negative 40 plus negative 8. And we get our answer, negative 48. Negative 48. In our next example, a little more complicated. We have 5 raised to the third power minus 8. And then inside we have 7 minus 12. So before I can do the 8 multiplied by the 8, I need to work out the 7 minus 12. So I rewrote 7 minus 12 as 7 plus a negative 12. Again, you may be able to do this without writing that step down, and that's fine. 7 plus a negative 12 is negative 5. So at this point I've gone ahead and worked out the 5 to the third, which is 125. And I have 5 to the third minus 8 times a negative 5. Now there's actually 2 ways to proceed from here with the minus 8 times negative 5. I'm going to do it first the long way, and then I'm going to point out a shortcut that we can use. So first, 8 times negative 5 will be negative 40. And remember, when we're subtracting here, we think of that as take away. So taking away a negative 40 is the same as adding 40. And then we can work that out. 125 plus 40 is 165. So that's the one way to do it. The other way is to think of that as a minus 8 times a negative 5. Minus 8 times a negative 5. Minus 8 times negative 5, which would be positive 40. And then you see we can skip that middle step there and jump right from 125 minus 8 times negative 5 to 125 plus 40. We will find ourselves doing this quite a lot in algebra, thinking of that subtraction sign at times as subtraction, and then other times as multiplication, as a negative sign. So that's something we want to keep in mind here with these sign numbers, the part I've marked off here in blue. That shortcut is a really common technique that we use when we get into algebra as well.